Hello guys, I hope you all are fine. Today we'll be making three sentences, only three sentences. So take a look at my examples and just go through my example. Later on, I will be explaining. Okay, alright. So the first example is, or the first sentence is, it hasn't rained today. It didn't rain yesterday. Have you had your food? Did you have your food? Have you seen this week's magazine? Did you see last week's magazine? So here I have made three examples. And what are the what differences between these examples? Do you know? So I will tell you what are the difference between these examples. One is in simple past and another sentence in present perfect. Simple past and present perfect, but it's entirely different. These two sentences can change the entire sentence at all. So take a look at the first example or first sentence. It hasn't rained today. In the case of it hasn't rained today, if someone says that it hasn't rained today, the person may be saying in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening. So there is today, right? So you have to understand how many hours are there in a day. How many hours are there in a day? There are 24 hours in a day, right? So maybe the person saying in the morning or in the evening, but the day hasn't finished yet. So it may rain in the night or in the evening, sorry, at the night or in the evening. So there's a gap, right? So it may rain or it may not rain, but we cannot predict it. So that's the meaning of the first sentence. And take a look at the same way, simple past, it didn't rain. So it's in the past tense, so it's very clear. It's finished already. It's already finished. There is no chance that a rain may come or not. It may rain or not. There is no possibility. It's already finished. So the next example, then take a look at the next example. That is, have you had your food? So most of the people say had your food, had your food. It's not the proper way. It's a simple way, it's a colloquial way, but this proper form is have you had your food? How would you say have you had your food? So the person, again the same, the person who is asking, the person may not know whether he has had his food or not. So there's only one way to say have you had your food? We don't know, there's a possibility, right? The person may have food or may not have food, but the person who is asking, he or she doesn't know about. So there's only one way. Have you had your food? So in the next example, did you have your food yesterday? As same, did you have means is past. Did you have your lunch yesterday? Did you have your dinner yesterday? Like there's a past. So in the case of past, in the case of yesterday's activities, we use did. Did you have your food? Did you have your lunch? Like that way. It's already finished. So we use did. So don't forget. So in the next example, have you seen this week's magazine? Have you seen this week's magazine? Week. So here we mention week. How many days are there in a week? How many days? There are 7 days, right? So the person may be asking on Monday or on Saturday or on Tuesday. So the week hasn't finished, right? So the week hasn't finished. So Thursday is there, Friday is there, right? Saturday is also there. So as there is a possibility, huge possibility, to read that magazine on that days, right? On that days, the person may get or may not get the magazine. So here we are focusing on the possibility, and the days or the week hasn't finished yet. In the case of last week, same. Did you read last week's magazine? Did you read, not read? Okay. Did you read last week's magazine? It's already finished. The last week's already finished. So did you read? When you talk about the possibilities, so you have to use present perfect tense. So don't forget. Okay.